set up for tree pose. So start to shift the weight to your left leg, and you're gonna pick your right heel up. You can turn your right toes and your right knee out to the right. Maybe the heel comes to your left ankle. Maybe you slide your foot to your shin. Or some of you can pick your foot up and bring it to your inner thigh. If you're wobbly, please feel free to step to a wall. Bring your hands to prayer. Some of you can reach your arms overhead. But as always, doing the practice that works for you today. All right, let's slowly release 2 feet back onto the ground, and we'll change sides. So shifting the weight to the right, left heel lifts, knee opens, and set your foot just where it needs to be. Same here, you can reach up, you can keep your arms low or hands to prayer. Soften your eyes and relax your throat. A few more breaths. Stay calm. Don't forget to breathe in and out. And then on an exhale, lower your hands. You can come back to your mat if you stepped away. Reset into Tadasana. Now this time we're going to pick, well, I told you to come back to the mat, but you may need the wall. Let's see if we can do it without the wall. So let's lift the right heel, feel the weight shift to your left leg, and we're just going to pick the right knee up. Flex your foot, try to relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Maybe you can point and flex the foot without losing your balance. All right, and then right foot down. Let's switch. When you're ready, pick your left leg up. Hug the inner thighs to the midline, outer hips hug in, point and flex the foot. Again, it's optional. If you can try that a few times. And then 2 feet on the floor. Okay, from here, chair pose, last standing thing. Let's rise the arms toward the sky, bend your knees, have a seat. The low belly lifts, tailbone is heavy, and we're still drawing the front ribs together. John, point your toes a little more straight ahead. Perfect. Good. Sit lower. Good. And bring your hands to your heart. See if you can sit even lower. All right. As you go lower, your heels might start to lift, and your hands can go to the floor. We're going to get back on the ground. All right. So you're toward the back of your mat. Most of you can sit to the back and stretch your legs out so your legs are on your mat. All right, let's keep the left leg extended, pull the right leg in. This time, Janu-Sirsasana. So your foot comes to your left inner thigh. If you have a block or a blanket near you, you might place that under your right knee if you need some support. Fingertips on the floor. So we want to have the arms outstretched and straight if that's possible. And then keeping that inhale, lengthen the chest. And start to walk your hands closer to your ankle, but stop when you get to your edge. If you can catch your foot, that's fine. If you're nowhere near, that is also fine. Shoulders heavy away from your ears. And notice if you have remembered about engaging your abdominal muscles. Pull your belly button toward the back of your body. When you breathe in, let's hinge up to center and switch sides. Right leg goes out, left comes in. Anchor through both sitting bones. Try to get as equally grounded on your pelvis as possible. Right foot flexed, and then hands out, arms long. Inhale, lengthen, and start to walk yourself out once again. Reach your heart towards your right ankle. Feel the spine extending from the base to the top. Stay for 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, slowly come on back to center. And stretch both legs out. Give a little shake or bounce. Let's move into some seated crunches. So we'll pull the right leg in and open the left leg out of the diagonal, so like a half butterfly pose. Right hand comes under the floor outside of your hip, and the left hand's behind your head. So as you inhale, you're going to lengthen the head up out of your neck and shoulders, and when you exhale, curl your left elbow towards your right knee, but your goal is to keep both sitting bones on the floor. Inhale, open, and exhale, curl. So your right hand can help you keep balance on both sitting bones equally. If your left buttocks start to lift up, don't pull so far. You don't have to curl a lot to get the benefit of this. This is your pace. Exhale, curl, and inhale, open. Let's do 2 more. And last one, curl it in. And inhale, open. Let's release the left arm, moving into stargazer. So you'll lean on your right hand, press down, lift the hips, and sweep the left arm up and over. So a nice little back bend here. Whatever degree works in your body today. And with an exhale, slowly release back to the mat. And we'll switch sides, left leg in, right leg long. So starting with our seated crunches, and we're just doing 6 rounds. So not a lot. Right hand behind your head, left hand anchors down. Find neutral pelvis first, then inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, curl. Big breath into open. And exhale, curl. Try to keep that right leg in Tadasana so the foot is flexed, muscle hugging bone. Exhale, curl. You're halfway there. Inhale, and curl it in. Squeeze your belly. And lift. And curl. You got 1 more to go. Inhale, big open heart. And exhale, curl. Squeeze it all in. And then back to center. So right arm can release, lean on your left hand, sweep the right arm up, stargazer. So again, a nice little back bend. You might feel a tiny scoop of your tailbone. Feel the arch between your shoulder blades if possible. Stay for 1 more in-breath. And exhale, slowly come back to center. Make your way back to tabletop. So we're going to do a little bit more side plank work. So we'll start exactly as we did before. Your right foot will kick off the edge of your mat, and your left leg's going to stretch down the back center. So opening the left arm, opening your heart. And this time, left leg can lift, bring it parallel to the ground, and flex your heel toward the back of the room. If you'd like a little more stretch, left fingertips can pull toward the front of the room. And make sure your abs are engaged, long from your tailbone to your crown. Good, exhale, come back to center, tabletop. If you want to do a cat-cow between sides, that would probably feel pretty good. And in your own time from neutral, left foot kicks out, right leg stretches back. And then opening up, again, long from one end to the other. So if your right leg is lifted, press out through the heel a lot. The right arm can reach forward. Feel that nice stretch to the right side body. And slowly release back to center, tabletop. A couple of cat-cows here. You're back to neutral, we're going to set up just as you are for a little bit of core work. So firming up your low abs, your hands are going to be right under your shoulders, and we'll tuck the toes and let the knees barely hover off the floor. So you're pressing your hands down. You can isometrically drag your thumbs toward the center line, firm up your arms, micro bend into the elbows, keeping your neck long. You can stay right here. This may be a super challenge for you. Or you can lower your right knee toward the floor and then the left knee. So you're just alternating a little tiny tap. So we don't want to be swinging the hips from side to side. We want to keep a neutral pelvis. So working on stability. One knee, then the other taps. If it doesn't get all the way to the floor, it doesn't matter. You can just imagine putting it on the ground. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees down, shift back to child's pose. Your knees can stay together or they can open. If your wrists are bothering you, flip your palms to face the ceiling. Your thumb touches your index finger, your middle finger, ring finger, little finger, then moving the opposite direction, ring, middle, pointer, and spread your fingers wide. See if you can get all 10 fingernails onto the mat. And then flipping the palms, slowly come back up to tabletop. We'll have the knees slightly behind the hips, moving through some number 8 circles. So start by taking your left shoulder towards your left wrist and just circling the shoulders and the hips around without getting too caught up in whether it's right or not. Just making some movement through the spine, the hips, the shoulders. And continue in that pattern. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And then stop and switch directions. When we go the second direction, sometimes it's a little confusing. Our bodies don't like to work in that way. It's almost like walking and chewing gum at the same time. Yeah. All right. And then when you're feeling sort of even, let's go back to child's pose again. Give yourself a moment to reset. Eventually, we will make our way all the way onto our bellies, moving into some back strengthening work. So it's back bending, and sometimes back bending can seem a little scary, but we want to strengthen the muscles in our back body. So we will start in Sphinx. Let's bring the forearms onto the mat, about shoulder width apart, fingers are spread wide. And isometrically begin to drag your fingerprints and your elbows back. As you slide your heart forward, broadening across your collarbones. And your lower body can be active or it can be relaxed, whatever feels nice to you in this breath. Let's stay for one more inhale. As you exhale, lower yourself down. We'll move into a little cobra or bhujangasana for the second shape. So now your hands come under your shoulders. You'll have your elbows close in by your sides. As you inhale, drag the hands back to pull the heart forward. You don't have to lift up very high. The tops of your feet are anchored onto the mat. And engage your core. Pull your belly button up off the mat. With an exhale, lower down. Rest your arms if you need to move them into a different position for a moment. And then moving into locust pose, arms come back by your sides, and we're going to flip the palms to face the ground today. Starting by keeping the feet anchored, you'll press all 10 toenails onto the mat. As you inhale, lift your head, neck, chest, and arms. So it can be a real challenge to feel like we're lifting the belly button off the floor, but see if you can create that sensation. When you exhale, lower down. So as we progress, you can continue with a more basic shape or add on. So for round 2, we will set up the same way, lift the head, neck, chest, and arms. If you like, you can also lift the legs. And when you're ready, inhale, lift yourself up. And this pose is not about how high you can bring your body off the floor, but how much length you can create from your toes all the way up through the top of your head. Take one more in breath. When you exhale, lower everything down. You can turn a cheek to the mat, whatever feels nice in your body as you take a short moment to reset. All right, on your next round, it will be another locust pose, Shalabhasana. So this round, if you choose, you can clasp your hands behind your back, and that sometimes gives us a little more impetus to lengthen. So arms by your side or clasp your hands. When you're ready, inhale, lift your head, neck, chest, arms, and legs. Remember, it's not about height, but about length. How much longer can you make your body? Stay for one more in-breath, and exhale, lower down. All right, turn a cheek to the mat. If you're wanting to windshield wiper your legs, bend your knees and give a little swish side to side. We will do one more locust, and then we're going to move back in the other direction. So if you have the availability to catch your ankles with your hands for a floor bow, you may choose that variation. You may come back to the very beginning shape, keeping your feet on the floor. To decide where you want to go, set it up, and when you inhale, you're going to launch your locust. And we'll try for 5 breaths. If that's too many, you can come down earlier. Don't forget to breathe. When you're ready, slowly lower, and everybody can windshield wiper the legs again if that feels nice. All right, we're gonna revisit Sphinx pose. So let's slide the arms forward, pop up under your elbows. And this time let's press strongly into the tops of the feet as you drag the arms back, pull the heart forward, and engage your gluteal muscles, and see if you can feel your hamstrings even come into action here. You may or may not be able to observe that, but just bring some awareness to what's working. We'll stay for one more breath. And then stack your hands, rest your forehead down. And then as long as we are prone, let's take half frog today. So when you're ready, you're going to prop up on your left elbow. It's going to be parallel to the front of your mat. And you're going to bend your right leg and see if you can reach back and grab your inner arch with your right hand. If that's not possible, you can grab your foot from the outside. And then kick your foot into your hand to get a little bit more stretch. And then lastly, see if you can press more through your left forearm to keep the chest elevated without collapsing into your left shoulder. And try for one more in-breath. When you exhale, no boomerang, slowly lower that foot down the mat, or no slingshots. We have one more side to go. When you're ready, right arm parallel to the front edge of your mat, left hand catches your left foot. Then find that bit of resistance, foot and hand pressing against each other. Deepen the intensity of the stretch if it's appropriate. Then press more into your right palm and elbow. Lift your chest. Move your right shoulder away from your ear. Maybe 2 more breaths if you can. And when you're ready to release again, slow, controlled release. Stack your hands, rest your forehead. You might swivel your hips or windshield wiper the legs, anything that feels good to you. We're going to make our way onto our back, so you can simply flip over, keeping your head in the same direction, or you can flip head to tail if you're used to doing that. We'll prepare for bridge pose. So once you're on your back, if you want to hug your knees in and roll across your low back a little bit, it might feel nice after doing that back bending work. But eventually feet will go into the floor, heels under your knees. So as we prepare for bridge, we want to create a strong and balanced foundation. So the feet are hip bone distance apart. All 10 toes are going to face in the same direction. And before you even consider lifting your pelvis, start to press some more weight through the inner arch sides of your feet. So the big toe mounds are heavy. And then arms by your side. Let's start with the palms face down for a little added support. On an inhale, press down, lift your pelvis up. Doesn't have to be too high. You're going to scoot your tailbone toward the back of your knees. And then bring the awareness back to your feet. Are you still heavy through the inner arches? And imagine you have your block between your knees and you're going to hug the inner thighs so that adductor muscles fire up here. Stay for one more in-breath. When you exhale, slowly lower yourself down. We're going to do a little visual imagery here for the second round. So oftentimes we wrap a belt around our thighs. We're going to pretend we have that belt. And don't lift up yet, but when you lift up, you're going to hug the inner thighs, but you're going to press your knees out into the belt. So you're creating some opposing actions in the shape. So when you're ready, once again, feet are heavy and equal under the mat. Press down to lift up. Good, and then squeeze the imaginary block between your inner thighs. And then press your knees out into your imaginary belt. Feel how much work that creates. Feel the action, feel the energy. Stay for one more breath. When you exhale, lower down. All right, hug your knees in once again in a little side-to-side rock. We'll move through a few rounds of dynamic bridge. So when you're ready, the feet go back on the floor. Your arms are by your side, palms down. We've done this many times. As you inhale, you press into your feet, you lift the hips and raise the arms overhead. And exhale, lower the arms and lower the pelvis. Take 5 more breaths just like that. Inhale, lift and reach overhead. Exhale, lower the arms. Slowly lower the hips. Good. And 4. And exhale. And inhale, 3. Lift and reach. Exhale slowly. 2 to go. Keep heavy through the inner arch side of both feet. Inner thighs are still squeezing. Good, last one, lift, arms overhead. Let's take one full breath while you're lifted. And that means you get an extra inhale here, and then exhale, slowly lower. Draw your right knee in, left leg long onto the mat. The right knee gets a nice tight squeeze here. And let's switch, hug your left knee in. Set your left foot flat on the floor with a bent knee. Now you're going to take your right leg into half happy baby. So the knee bends, the arm comes inside the leg and outside the arch. Good. So we just want to get a little bit of resistance using the hand to pull the knee towards the armpit or the shoulder. I'm getting a little too close here for social distancing, but I think we're all well. So we're starting out just drawing the knee straight down with the knee and the toes in a neutral alignment, facing the shoulder. We're going to change it up a little bit. So from here, don't move your leg yet. You're just going to take your hand inside your arch. So you're grabbing the heel from below. And then from your thigh bone, begin to externally rotate so your toes and your knee begin to turn toward the right side of the room. You might start to roll in that direction, and that's okay, but you're going to use the strength of your arm to pull your knee closer to the ground. It may seem like it's a far way away. It might seem like a great distance between your knee and your floor, but if you roll a little bit, your knee will likely find the floor way before you think that's going to happen. And so your left shoulder blade might even lift off the floor a little bit. All right, from here, use your right hand to guide your right ankle over your left knee, coming into reclined figure 4 or reclined pigeon. You can keep your left foot on the floor or pick your knee up and take it into a bind. Keep your right foot flexed. And as you draw your left knee in, the right elbow can nudge your right knee away from you, intensifying the stretch. Again, if that's appropriate for you today. Just a couple more breaths. And when you exhale, left foot on the floor, take your right foot up toward the ceiling for a hamstring stretch. So you can hold on behind your right knee or thigh or calf. Some of you might be able to reach your right ankle. You might even climb up your leg. So walk your hands up, lift your head, your shoulders, bring your nose towards your right shin. A little core, a little back stretch. Stay for one more in-breath, and when you exhale, slowly and mindfully release back to the ground. Right foot on the ground. If you need to windshield wiper or hug your knees in, whatever feels appropriate before we go to the second side. So we started with a half happy baby. When you're ready, you're going to pull your left knee in, catch the outer arch side of your foot. And just breathe into it. Don't be concerned, don't have any thought about how close that knee is getting to the floor. Just enjoying a stretch to whatever degree feels good in your body. And then let's switch the hand to the inner arch side, grabbing your inner heel. And then externally rotate from your femur head to your knee to your toes. Try not to sickle your ankles. So the foot is still in Tadasana. The entire leg is turning as one unit, even though your knee is bent and your foot is flexed. And there might be a little bit of rolling toward the left if you're trying to get your knee to the floor, which is not important, but it might happen. And then we'll guide the left ankle over the right knee. So you recline pigeon. Once you have your shape set, if you want to thread your hands through, go ahead and pick your right leg up. Remember, we'll keep the left foot flexed. And as the left knee presses away, you know your elbow is nudging it, encouraging it a little bit away from your chest. Your right knee may be coming closer in. That's just giving a deeper stretch through your left glutes. Stay for one more full breath. And then releasing the shape. Right foot on the floor, left leg to the ceiling. Take your hamstring stretch. So again, you can hold on behind your thigh or knee or calf, anywhere that's comfortable. And those of you who want to walk your hands up to your ankle and climb that tree, bring your nose towards your left shin. Stay for one more in-breath. Just very slowly release back to the ground. Hug both knees in. We're going to move from here into Viparita Karani, or legs at the wall. And you'll stay on your mat. Some of you brought blocks. You can place a block under your sacrum if you have one and that feels comfortable to you. Either way, we're going to reach the feet up toward the ceiling. Trying to create some lightness in the feet, the soles of the feet, the ankles, and the toes. You can point and flex, circle the ankles. If you circle, make sure you circle both directions. Maybe today the feet sort of float, maybe the legs sway a little bit. If stillness is your thing, if that feels like where you want to be, let the legs become absolutely still. But at the end, it's up to you to do what feels best for you right now. The weight of the thigh bones drawing heavy down into your pelvis, and that's keeping you anchored to the earth. In your own time, you can bend the knees and place the feet back on the floor. If you use the prop, you can set it aside. Bring your feet outer hip distance apart, and we'll drop both knees over to the right. So when the knees and the feet are a little bit wider, you're moving the stretch to the front of your top hip. So in this case, if the knees are to the right, the front of your left thigh and hip are going to feel a little more release and stretch. With an inhale, come back to center, legs to the left. start to feel a bit even, you can come back to center. If you'd like another side twist while you're here on your back, choose what feels good. Maybe knees stacked over your hips to take the twist more up your spine. But whatever you're needing or wanting before Shavasana. Baby or full body stretch. Whatever movement you need, start to move in the direction of final relaxation. Arms by your side, palms up, legs a little bit wide with your feet splayed open. Take a deep breath in through your nostrils, open your mouth, let it go. And this is the perfect opportunity to do a little mental scan of your body. If there's any tension remaining anywhere from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, and that includes tension in your mind, let it go. As your body comes into stillness and your breath drops into more natural rhythm, only then will the mind start to turn off. So whatever thoughts you have, whatever lists you have to check things off of, put them aside just for now and take rest. Choose to gently rock your head from side to side. Maybe a full body stretch at some point. And in your own time, rolling off to your right side, is curling up
find yourself resting here on your mat in these last few moments of our practice, take this opportunity to check in, noticing the effects of your practice, to give yourself gratitude for setting aside time to roll out your mat today. When you're ready to come up, press into your left hand. Keep your head heavy as you slowly lift yourself up, coming into a comfortable seated posture. We'll bring our palms together in front of our heart center into Anjali Mudra. Thank you all for choosing to be here and share your practice with me today. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live a life of ease. Let's bring our thumbs to forehead center. Together, we bow and say, Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I hope I'll see you on the other side of all of this.